Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 87 of OFAC, titled Mars Attacks. Joined here tonight by a good friend of the show, Shane. Hi, Shane. Thanks for coming.
Hello. Thanks for asking me.
With Ian's on parenting duties at parents' evening today, so it might be a bit of a cleaner show. I know that when you were on last time, Shane, you tried to make up for Ian's lack of swearing because he's not here. But
So
I think
Ian gave me directives.
We'll
he goes, "You need to swear a lot. People expect
well,
this of you, like of Ian."
We might try and keep it clean tonight. I mean, obviously, if the swear words flow, that's all good. But
if it happens naturally,
we'll see how we get on. Yeah. No, brilliant. Thanks for stepping in. I know you're a bit of a YouTube sensation in your own right now, and
I doubt it. No, I doubt
I've
it.
been enjoying. No, but it's cool. You do a lot of live broadcasts and stuff. And it's always good to tune in and see what you're on about.
Cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. How many subscribers are you up to now? You're over 1,000, aren't you?
I've 1,826. So I'm kind of closing in on the 2K.
Getting off for 2. Yeah. So if you haven't already, subscribe to 16 Focus.
Thank you.
Really cool.
Right, you are about to listen to Only Fools and Collecting, a podcast for those who like a good moan about figure collecting and don't mind naughty words.
Right.
Bollocks.
So we normally
Ian's not here, and
that's a good one. That's a good one. It's kind of we don't get
great
that
one.
So it's not hard. It's not hardcore enough for
no,
Belen.
It explodes
it
explodes. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Yeah. So who we got in the chat? We've got Bob Dylan, Logan Kalangi, Andre, and Scott Bradley. Welcome everybody. So normally we'd do new this week. I haven't got anything. I don't know. Did you get anything in this week, Shane? Or are you still waiting on your pre-orders?
I didn't get anything in this week, but my in-art Joker is rooted 2-pack is shipping, so it's
cool. Yeah,
pretty exciting. I remember being on this show about a year ago and we were chatting about it, and it's funny in the one day. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, in the grand scheme of things, that's not a bad from solicitation to release, is it? Compared to
no, not at all. I mean, it's not as impressive as the DeLorean, but then again, the DeLorean is another conversation. It kind of
we'll get to that one.
Yesterday I got 2 emails. One was like the final invoice for it and that it was shipping. And the other was the message from Toys Buying Agent, who I happen to have a single Joker from, who I got that thing going. It's it sounds like someone screwed them over, and they offered full refund. They offered full refund. We'll probably delve into it later on, but
we've got it in
customer service.
So we'll go into that. But that's good that yours is imminently shipping on its way to you, and you've got the first new release. If I go into renew, then you can talk about that, because I think you've got this figure on the way as well. So
new releases.
So we have Hot Toys, The Mandalorian, Ahsoka Tano, deluxe version 270, standard version 230, and what's the deluxe comes with Grogu, and is the lamp part of the deluxe as well?
Yeah, and it doesn't light up.
So which one of? No. So there's nor do the sabers. So there's a bit of
it's a strange one.
Artistic license there from Hot Toys.
Yeah.
Is it? I suppose it's the seamless arms, I suppose, is the issue. Because you'd have to have a joint in at the elbow, wouldn't you, to be able to detach those? Which wouldn't be too bad because they're covered by the sleeves, but it kind of wouldn't work maybe. But CCFL is the way to go anyway. Looks much better. So if you really want to light those bad boys up, then that's the way to go. So which one of you got, the deluxe or the standard?
Yeah, I went deluxe because I actually like the little kind of Dagobah base, which it essentially is. I believe it's a repurposed Yoda base, so I actually really like it's simple. It's not a space hog. It's that's what the type of environment she was on in that scene. I love this. I just we've heard it all before. It doesn't exactly look like Rosario Dawson's not the best likeness, but it looks like the prototype. It looks like Ahsoka to me. I think it's a stunning looking piece. We're really excited to get it.
Yeah, exactly. I think it looks really good, and it's one that I haven't got an order, and I'm not necessarily, but it's one of it's a figure that I'd quite happily pick up, and it would go well with Mando. I think you're right. I think that it's a very good representation of Ahsoka Tano, and I think because, to me, it wouldn't matter that it wasn't spot on to Rosario Dawson, because it's not like she's ingrained on our minds like Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill from like 30, 40 years ago. She's fairly new in the role, and so I think that it doesn't matter so much that it's not 100%. But I think they've just done a really good job with the clothing, and as you say, the shoulders, they look really good, don't they? They got some good definition in them.
Because I mean, it's a strange thing, Rosario Dawson's beautiful, but I mean, I was admiring her shoulders in the show. She definitely looked fit for purpose in the role. She was a kind of strong, lean, athletic looking shoulders, and I definitely see the kind of the shape of the shoulders. I think they've actually done a really good job of capturing that kind of toned look to her,
So Bob Dylan said, wish they did, but they haven't figured out how to power the hilts. Yeah, it's a difficult one because I've got the Chosen one, which is the third party Anakin figure, the one with the crazy rooted hair. Which
maybe he's born with
hair
it
on mine.
You rerouted the rooted hair.
I did on one of them, and it's okay. I'm not 100% with it, and the other one, I've just put a plastic hair piece on, and it looks alright. Actually, it looks quite good. But he came with a couple of sabers with those tiny little batches in, about that big, really thin, and they go into the hilts. But they're rubbish because the way they switch on is you clip them in. So to switch them off, you've got to go in and undo the lightsaber. So, and they're not very bright anyway. So that's not a solution. At least with CCFL, they're done so that you get the wires come straight out the back of the hilt, and you can quite bit more difficult here to completely hide the wires because obviously you've got bare skin on her shoulders. If you've got a figure that's fully clothed, a cloak or whatever, you can run the cables up the sleeve and around the back, and you can kind of disguise it completely. But to be honest, I think the cables don't bother me. They're like the width of a hair. So even if you saw, a bit of cable going behind the back, I don't think it breaks the illusion, and just the vibrance and stuff and brightness of the blades makes up for the, for that. So
the kind of the trade-off is so much better, especially if you have those, if you have those CCFLs powered in a way that you can, turn them on with, I don't know, Alexa or your some sort of an app. And I've seen that done. It looks fantastic.
Because I started making my own a couple of years ago, and I've got all mine on smart plugs, so just whack them on, and they come. I mean, they're not the cheapest thing to get done if you have them done by one of the the top guys in the business. But I think, if you're only doing it for a couple of figures, it's probably worth it. But because I
So
wanted
those
like
ones,
20 of them, I thought,
those,
yep.
all right, those CCFL ones. So that the wire runs out the back of the hilt, yeah, and then
either out the back or out the side. So they normally drill a tiny little hole, possibly in the side, just behind where our hand is, and then the two tiny little wires, like they're sort of almost as thin as a hair, will come out of that there, and then they go into a. Then they'll have a connector, and then you have like a little junction box that they clip into, and then that's attached to like a laptop plug or something like that, which you then plug into
right.
the.
And does it come with the kind of a USB type thing, or?
No. So these you probably could do it to USB, but the ones I get, they come with this little box, and then you basically you buy a laptop charger. You just cut the end off that goes into the laptop, and then you just wire it into the junction box. So you can have that well away from the figures, and all you're running is these tiny little sort of black wires. So they're fairly.
So you could have several of them.
You
of them,
normally. Yes, you can. I normally just do so the little box comes with two connectors. So I normally just put two sabers into each one, but you can splice them in if you want more. But I've always just stuck to just having one per port. So if you like, one plug serves two sabers.
Cool.
But now they are cool. So that's a cool figure. So I know yours is coming from TW, so you're not really sure when you're actually going to when you're actually
just to be clear as well, I don't buy from them anymore. Since I got the cancelled and refund, there was 2 figures I had fully paid off, and I was like, no, I'm just going to let them ride, and that's it. Just fuck it. They I'll be waiting for. I don't know. It'd be my nice Christmas present, Pete.
Yeah. And as Bob Dylan's touched on the fact that obviously it's a bit weird that they class this as a DX release.
It is.
DX doesn't really seem to mean much anymore, and it's almost like they've dropped it again because they've just announced that 89 Batman, which was a DX release back in the day, but it's not now. It's just an MMS. So they're all over the place with these DX. So I don't know whether they've kind of dropped them again because people have just ripped them about the fact that it doesn't make any sense anymore. But it's good that they've got the posable eyes and stuff now. And
it's a beautiful looking piece, really, isn't it? Like there's I know again, it's not exactly Rosario Dawson, but I don't think it just doesn't matter. Like, I mean, there's no mistaking who this is. It just looks super. There's so much you can
waiting for her and your debts off.
I think it would look great next to Beskar Mando, to be honest. I still have the original non-chrome one, so I think that would look pretty nice.
Yeah, I've got the chrome one coming in from Toys by an Agent, and he said that it's on second batch, but he reckons they're coming in this month, so that'd be cool. So that would be one of your rare two figures per shelf.
I think so. Yeah, I think I just what I have in mind, just the two of them next to each other, even maybe back to back, and maybe even in a similar pose. Now I got the Mando with the flamethrower. And I think like back to back, maybe something like that would look quite nice. Like, I haven't fully decided, but that's just one thing I'm going to try. And if it works, it works. Sometimes I kind of have an idea of what I want to do, and then it just doesn't work out. And you kind of have to abandon posing sometimes. Yeah,
exactly. You need to have the figure in hand and play around and see what works. But no, that'd be cool. So next up, we've got the. I'm just calling this the plain clone trooper. So it's the all white Attack of the Clones clone trooper. I suppose the original version with the what do they call them? Phase 1, Phase 2 helmets. You're more of a trooper guy than me, so you probably
Yeah, phase 1, phase
know a
2.
bit more
I
about
think the
this.
phase 1
Yeah.
is the one here on the left and the right. And then the
Correct.
phase 2,
Yeah.
I believe, is the middle one because it just, I suppose it shows the evolution
Yeah.
towards original trilogy.
Yeah, the
but
more stormtrooper looking one. So,
yeah.
what's your view? Are you picking up any of the
No.
prequel
Um,
clones? No.
It's rare I see a trooper I don't like, to be honest, but it's for me, it's kind of, when it comes to troopers, original trilogy, Mandalorian, Rogue One.
Yep.
I like just that typical. I really like the kind of original trilogy. My favorite trooper is probably just a straight up and down shiny from A New Hope or from the original trilogy.
That's
you know,
got to be
uh,
absolutely.
yeah, like it's just I just love
Classic.
the
Yeah,
classic. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I find a lot
Yeah.
of troopers are derivatives of them. I nearly gravitate to the ones that are a completely different style of helmet. Then like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
the Shore Trooper I found very interesting, but
Yeah.
no, I
Yeah.
prequels. I don't collect prequels. The only prequels figure I actually have is Commander Cody, for two reasons. One,
Uh-huh.
it's awesome, and two, it was a gift. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
he's in the Trooper display, but although I do the Clone Pilot, I find that's really unique looking. It's like I really want it, but I'm kind of like,
Yeah,
you
he's
might
got a
wanna
funny
kinda
helmet, hasn't he?
exercise
Different
caution,
look.
like
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I did break my rule a couple of years ago because I was very much original trilogy only. But then as I started to make the CCFL lightsabers, obviously I wanted more and more Jedi, so I could make more sabers. So I kind of exhausted all the options with the original trilogy. So I started venturing into picking up some Jedi's from the prequels. So they're the only one. They're the only ones. So I've got Anakin and Obi-Wan and Mace Windu and Qui-Gon, Darth Maul, stuff like that. So all Jedi's. So I can kind of, in my head, that's okay because they're Jedi's. They're not, So I haven't got anything else from the prequels, and I won't be getting anything else from them. Yeah, I don't particularly love this outfit, to be honest. Particularly in that middle shot, like the massive gap between the kind of the crotch piece and the leg. I know it's movable, but I just I think to me it's just like you say, it's just a sort of derivative of the original Stormtrooper, where they're trying to make that kind of link, and for me that A New Hope Trooper is perfection. Lucky enough to own 3 of those, 2 of them with Han and Luke heads on them, and 1 just a straight up Trooper. I had more, but I did sell. Very cool.
Yeah. I went. I've Shepperton Studios.
That. Oh wow. Yeah. See, I keep seeing them for sale on the Facebook groups, and I'm tempted.
Yeah. The that's like the full armor. I think I put a photo up. It's on my Instagram somewhere.
Yes.
It's in 1976, a company called Shepperton Studios were contracted to make the molds or the props for A New Hope, and apparently they're cast from the original molds and stuff like that. It's silly expensive, but it was I had a little windfall at one stage there, and I was like, I'm just going to do this. Because then I don't need to Halloween costumes sorted for life, But it's
So you have worn it then, have you?
Yeah, there was in the school that I work in, like once a year they do this Halloween day where all the staff and all the students dress up so. I had to come into school bloody an extra hour early to put the damn thing on, and it's not the most comfortable thing to wear for a day. And I stopped drinking water about 2 days beforehand because it's like a morph suit you put on underneath, and then it was a lot of fun. Like it's how often do you get to go to work as a stormtrooper? But it's it's a lot of fun.
Can you sit down in it?
No, no. You're on your feet for the day, man. You're on your feet for the day.
I thought so. Yeah.
It's
so you won't be wearing it to celebration then.
No, more than likely not. I think I'll struggle in jeans and a t-shirt in celebration because of the hot, sweaty messes that's going to be inside there.
It's going to be hot. Yeah.
Convention centers are just sticky. It's like when you bend your arm and your biceps sticks to
Yeah.
your forearm. You know, you're in a place is too humid. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
day 2 of a festival
Not-
stickiness.
yeah.
Like, nah.
Yeah, it's going to be a pulsing mass of sweaty men. Yeah. So it's might be
Can't wait.
the t-shirts. yeah. I've it's going to be good. It's going to be great. And you'll have had a taste already on the Friday, so you can fill us in on what the best things to do are, and go and see.
I'll see if they serve beer inside there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That might have to wait till the later on in the evening. But
Sounds great.
Cool. So you're down
Sounds great.
you're down for 2 days. You stay.
Yeah.
What, Friday, Saturday night? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm flying out on the Friday, and I can't remember if I'm flying into Gatwick or Stansted. It was a Ryanair job, and I just looked at the tube times, and I should arrive to the hotel, which is nearby, about an hour before it opens. So that should give me enough time to get over and get tickets. And so, yeah, and I'm really looking forward to it. It was like I've been to some Star Wars expos before, but nothing on this kind of size with all the celebrities and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really looking forward to it.
No, me neither. No, I haven't been to lots of like little local bits and pieces, but nothing on this scale. I think I went to like a video game one when I was about 15 with my mate, and that was huge. But this is going to be quite a thing.
And you far to travel? Would you far to travel?
No. I think it would take me probably about an hour and a half to get in.
All right. Cool.
So not too far at all. A couple of trains. So Ian's sort of the same, but he's like the other side of it. Because I was going to go to his first, but it would take me twice as long to do that than to. So I think I'm going to meet him there, and we're going to try and go for something to eat afterwards and that. So
good stuff.
Hopefully
Sounds
meet
great.
up with lots of these beautiful people that are watching us that I know are going.
There's a lot of people going. I think Layla's going, Calvin's going. I believe there's I know like YouTube handles like The Empire Strikes Again is going. I think there's a new guy, Dan in Carbonate. He's just started a channel there recently, I think, but he's been collecting for years. I think he's going. So it'd be cool to meet up with like-minded individuals.
We're trying to have to work out how we're going to meet up, because it's like it's a big place, a lot of people. We'll have to maybe try and set up a WhatsApp group or something, and so we can kind of find each other.
It's a bit of a balls though, because I've got like the data on my phone. It's like I've got unlimited data inside the EU. But now, as soon as I go into England, it's like you send a tweet, no credit, because I'm not bill pay. I was bill pay, but I got sick of it. I thought like this is way too much money for whatever. I just buy the phone outright now and just have. I still buy credit? I'm like a teenager, but it's just cheaper.
Okay, well, if we meet up, you're more than welcome to use my phone as a hotspot. I've got plenty of data, so
this is real friendships. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
hopefully there'll be some.
I think I've got
decent Wi-Fi.
I think I've got 40. Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure on that, because obviously we're going to hope to stream some live video and stuff. Just short videos, but so we'll see. But it'd be good if there was Wi-Fi. But we'll be able to sort something out anyway. But so this next release is kind of the big one of the week of the show. It's on our title card, which is the Mars Toys Prank Villain, the 1966 Batman Cesar Romero Joker, and it's fantastic. I've got one on order. I pre-ordered him the day I saw him, and the one that sold me was the sculpt on the left with the sort of the weird pouting mouth, because that to me is just shrink ray. That it's incredible. The other two sculpts are good, but for me that one, it just looks like a still from the TV show.
That's how I remember him anyway.
Yeah, definitely. And I know that people said that his suit was more purple and stuff like that, but that doesn't bother me at all. I think the head sculpts are fantastic. You get three. I think I can't remember which one was the pre-order bonus one, but I mean basically everyone's going to come with it, and they've announced there's going to be a second batch coming at some point, which is good because I think a lot of people missed out on this. But yeah, so I pre-ordered him back in the day one, and then I pre-ordered the Saturn Toys Batman and Robin as well, which is a bit of an unknown kind of, because I think the pictures they used were possibly the Hot Toys pictures at the time, but I thought, well, I need them to go with this guy, so I ordered them, and they were something ridiculous. They were like £160 for both figures. This guy, I think, was about 140. So fast forward, and it doesn't seem that long. I don't know when the pre-orders were, but it doesn't seem a lot more than kind of six to 8 months that this was. It's a fairly quick turnaround as far as I can recall.
Yeah, I think the last time we
since that
did a stream. Sorry, I think there's a slight delay. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah. No, that's fine. No, go ahead.
I think one of the last times we streamed together, we were definitely talking about the 1966 Batman and Robin from Mars Toys. So I think, I think you're right, but maybe 6 to 8 months ago. Yeah.
So, and obviously since that time, I've put some, I've placed some pricier pre-orders. So I've ended up ordering the in-art Aragorn, and then I picked up the in-art Gandalf, and then I got pulled into the DeLorean, and I pre-ordered the DeLorean. So I'd kind of decided that I was probably going to have to let this guy slide because, for money purposes and also for space. But now that I've seen it, I can't not have it. So I'm just going to have to rethink, where I can fit him in. But obviously, the future of him in my collection is going to hinge on how good that Saturn Toys set is, because I need obviously the Batman and Robin. I'm not going to fork out the £600-700 that people seem to be selling the Hot Toys ones for.
Was it Saturn?
Yeah,
Saturn Toys or Mars Toys?
Yes, Saturn Toys was the Batman and Robin, and this is.
And now here's the thing: is that kind of like, the way like Toys Era or something? I think is it Daft Toys or sometimes called Yan Toys. Are Mars and Saturn Toys the same company? Or
I don't know if they're the same, or whether one's just kind of called themselves Saturn just as a sort of a funny little,
Yeah, and then we're going to see like Mercury Toys and Uranus Toys.
Yeah,
I couldn't resist,
Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, what do you make of this guy?
I think this looks great, man. It's super. Like, I remember being a kid watching the 1966 Batman. Well, they were reruns at that stage, but
yeah.
Like, it's because it's
even I watched them on reruns. It's hard to believe, but not
yeah. Well, I think we're probably around the same age though. Like I'm like 40 this year. I think we're more or less.
Yeah, you've just turned 40, haven't you? I'm 48 this year, so yeah. So.
Oh right, you don't look 48, man. You don't look 48.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. Don't feel it yet, but
yeah. Well, we're grown men who still play with toys. I mean, come on, like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do wonder at what point I might grow out of it, but it's not coming in.
Don't grow
soon,
up. It's a trap.
And yeah, I know. And there's plenty of guys in their 50s and 60s that are still avid collectors. So it's cool. But yeah,
so I think this looks great. Yeah, I think it looks really good.
Yep.
I don't own the original 1966 Batman and Robin or the Batmobile, but I think if I was to get anything, I think I would just go for the Batman and Robin and call it a day. No, I just love the way they've got the mustache under the paint.
That's brilliant because that's such an iconic
Yeah.
for him that he wouldn't shave his moustache off, so they just
Yeah.
slap the.
I admire
the
that
paint on
stubbornness in a human being. Like, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No CGI removal in those days.
No. Yeah. This
Henry
is a better
Cavill.
job. Yeah, that was
definitely.
that was
Yeah, that was awful. Looked like
because
he'd
I
got a
didn't hear the
fat lip.
backstory when I saw that, and I was like, "What's up with
Yeah,
his
you're just
face?"
like, what's going
Like, I
on?
hadn't heard the story, and I googled it, and I was like,
He had an
"Oh, like, yeah,
allergic
mad.
reaction to a bee sting or something. You thought?
yeah." He's like kryptonite bees, but yeah, it
Yeah.
looks very good,
Yeah,
man.
'cause I
think that head sculpt's great.
I did own the '66 Batman Robin years ago, and they were great figures. And I think at the time I got them for something, £300 or something for the pair. And it's one of those ones where you kind of, at the time it was the right thing to sell them and stuff, but one of those things where now I wish I'd kept them. So as I say, I'm just got to hold out hope that the Saturn Toys ones are good enough to kind of pair up with this guy, really. And they've teased the Riddler and Penguin as well, so that'd be good. I'd be happy with those three. I wouldn't need to venture any further.
Great
those
three.
three villains would be it. Yeah, definitely, definitely, and definitely the Penguin. I love the Burgess Meredith Penguin.
Yeah.
Such a
The way you
iconic
told me
look.
to keep an eye on the chat and highlight anything you wanted to address or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one comment I'd like to highlight because I just don't like it. 16 Fix Marco.
Where is he?
Yeah, he's there. He's far back
yes,
there.
yes.
Yeah.
This
Who
one.
let him in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, he's I'm a big fan of
great to
Marco.
see you, Marco. Yeah, definitely. Me too.
He does great work there on Tuesdays. Tuesday nights, collecting weekly is one of the staples there.
I think that's the dream team now. I think they've hit the, those five are brilliant. Yeah. Gets a little edgy sometimes, but keeps the
you need that.
Yeah. So we've got Vintage Rebellion podcast here. Anyone else here going to Star Wars Celebration? Well, yeah, you've heard we are, and I think we're very much love to meet up with as many people as possible.
It'd be great,
and
like
it's kind
just
of like
after, it would be super,
it'd be
like to go
brilliant.
for a few beers or whatever.
And I feel like we're a little bit of a disadvantage because you guys know what we look like, and we don't know what you guys look like. So we're kind of hoping that you can find us, kind of thing. I know there's gonna be a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Me
Oh,
and
they
Ian
will.
should
They'll
be wearing
find us.
some,
But they'll find us with loads of tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ian and I may be wearing some OFAC merch, so that might make it a bit easier. But what's this? Oh, Shane, I got something in the mail.
This
He's talking
guy.
about his Batwing.
Yeah. Oh my god, he looks. I think I saw some. Pretty sure I saw photos of him with it, and he just looks like the happiest person.
It's
Like that thing's
huge.
amazing.
It is
Yeah,
an
it's
absolute
amazing.
beast. Yeah, Vintage Rebellion will be recording video. Yeah, I definitely need to come and see you there. I think I subscribed to your podcast the other day. I love a bit of vintage stuff. It's not something that I want to kind of get into myself, but I love watching the videos on all the old vintage stuff. Because I grew up with all that in the early '80s and stuff. So there's always a soft spot for the vintage Kenner stuff. So yeah, definitely.
Where it all started.
Come and say hello.
It's
I
have to laugh at this 12-inch moose stream. The comment: "Do you want pics to your messenger?"
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I want pics from a 12-inch moose stream. Yeah, to be honest, I actually do want to see pictures of the Batwing. To be clear, absolutely, yeah. I'll only be jealous, but I have to live vicariously through him.
Yeah.
You know what? This show is actually dirtier than when Ian is here. So. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's this bunch of reprobates in the chat, isn't it? They're pulling us down. But yeah, no. So yeah, he's really cool. And then we got one last release this week. Not the best pictures, but I couldn't find. It's the only pictures I could find of somebody that had these in hand. So this is the 3-0 Stranger Things Lucas figure. I don't think he looks too bad actually. I think they've all been.
I think he looks good.
Yeah, he does.
Does it come with the bike?
It definitely looks. No.
No. Oh,
Doesn't
the
come with
bike
the
is
chopper,
pretty cool.
No. Yeah, I don't know where they've got that from. That is really cool. No, doesn't come with the bike, but I think that the ones they've come out with so far are pretty good. I'm not so keen on Will Byers and the other guy, whatever his name is, Mike Wheeler. I don't think they look as good, but you know they can always. There's always time to improve. But I mean, the price is creeping up on these guys. You know, we're at £200 for a fairly light release, and obviously, you know, you're getting less plastic for your money because they're kids. But I'm a big fan of Stranger Things, but I don't
it's
really
great
have
show.
any desire to have figures on the shelf. But, I have
It's so nice of
enjoyed the
Metallica to have written that one song purely for the show. It's nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's like some of these kids I teach. It's like the Stranger Things song. It's like, and it's like, yeah, it came out in the 80s, but it's like, I think it was like 86 or something like that. So
it's new to you, and also running up that hill. You know, they never realised that was a song that came out like 40 years ago, and
I love that though. I love when new people get like new kids really get exposed to music from like decades ago, and they just have this like love for it. I think it keeps the songs alive, doesn't it? It's just not that you know, our Master Puppets ever went anywhere, like, but.
No, exactly. But it's, you know, and if they then go back and start listening to some of the back catalogue and get into them, then that's really cool. So, you can't beat a bit of Metallica. So that's it for new releases. So we now have
Coming soon.
So, Bad Batch. First up, we've got I've got the wrong way. One thing. So we've got Wrecker, and we've got Tech.
Teak.
So Teak. So these are the last two of the Bad Batch. So first of all, fantastic that Hot Toys are going to actually complete a line, because obviously that was always the risk when people started pre-ordering Echo at the start, how far into the gang would they go. So it's great to see them finish that. I haven't got to Bad Batch. I didn't watch the Clone Wars, but I'm watching it with my son now. So we're only on season 1. Like yourself, you're about season 3, are you? Something like that. You're working your way through.
I'm a snail. I've been told I've done all the hard work. First 3 seasons apparently really childish. Nothing really that grabbed my attention, but I'm told it gets good now, season 4. So people said, like, you know, I was talking to people, some people were like, I'm so jealous that like you're getting to experience this firsthand now because they've already seen it. It's like, that's how I feel when people are watching Breaking Bad for the first time. I'm like, oh man, you get to experience that for the first time again.
Yeah, but, exactly. There's only ever that once where it's new and you don't know what's coming.
So
I'm with you there.
4,
there's bits to take out of it that are cool, but it's the only thing is they're only like 20 minutes long, so we just whack it on. Where if we're having you know, pizza for tea, we'll just sit on the sofa and we'll watch a couple of those. So obviously this then once we've got through that, we leads us onto the Bad Batch. So I don't know a lot about these guys. My knowledge of these is kind of through Ian, really, because Ian's a big fan of Clone Wars and Bad Batch and stuff. So we'll get to them eventually. But from a objective point of view, I think they look really cool. I like the armor. I like the weathering on them. They're all very different. So as a set, I think they look fantastic on display. So
they will. It's the full set is the full complement. I think here is the display to go for personally. If I couldn't get one of these, I'd have to get them all. I haven't seen the show, so
Yeah,
it's
I was
they look
listening
super.
to the guys on After Dark and last night, and they're saying, you could go with 2 with 3. I think I couldn't do that. I'd have to have all 5. I think they are a team, and I suppose you could just have one, but I think once you go past one, then it's you've got to have. And I don't think there's any. I think they're all strong releases. I think they're all good, and say they all look different enough that it makes for a good display.
That's the cool thing about them. Like they kind of somewhat look like a team. Like you can tell they're part of the same ensemble, but they're all unique. I think it's just like the common parts of their armor, like the shapes or the red stripe and stuff like that. And obviously there's the head sculpts, they're not the same, but there's kind of similar looking.
Yeah. You can see the kind of the sort of the traits and everything. Because I think Ian said to me they're kind of like slight mutations of the clones, so that explains that they don't look exactly like Tamora Morrison. So I'm cool with that. I like this guy. I think this guy looks really good with the helmet on. It's good that they all come with an unmasked head sculpt as well, which is a nice touch. Although with this one, I think some of them you can display with or without. This one, they were debating about how the helmet would fit onto the sculpt. So it probably comes apart it comes in 2 bits and clips together.
I'd say Loki, like Loki.
Yeah, okay.
I think
is that how
2
that one
separate
works?
parts. I think that's how the Loki works. But I'd imagine this is something similar because there's souls that you seem to be able to put, have the sculpt free, have the sculpt with the goggles, have everything on him, or even have looks like a blast shield type thing down. So and there's a photo where it's hollow. You can see it, isn't it hollow?
Yes,
in this photo here. So,
it's very well done. How they've done it. So I think they're really good. So congrats if you're collecting those, because you can complete a line. Wrecker's a little bit more expensive because he's slightly taller and chunkier than the other guys. We'll get onto that. I pre-ordered the DeLorean from Hot Toys by an agent. Getting a little nervous about the QC issues and the HK dollar rising against the pound sterling. Do I hold or fold? Is it still going up? I mean, they're expensive enough as they are with the exchange rate. I didn't know it was getting even worse.
It's a tough one, man, because like I don't have any skin in the game, but I know how it feels when you really, really want something. And not everyone has had QC issues. So I just know, I think my heart would get the best of me in that situation. If I was invested, I'd just roll the dice and see what happens. Like, do you know?
Yeah, me too. I've got one on pre-order with
but that's just me.
Direct, so a UK. Yeah, of course. With a UK company, so I'm less worried about obviously I'm not getting it directly in from Hong Kong or what have you, and obviously the issue you've got with something like Toys by, I use Toys by an Agent all the time, and they're fantastic, brilliant guy, brilliant, but I've never had to send anything back, and that would worry me a bit if it was a figure, let alone something the size of the DeLorean. Just the logistics of getting that sent back, and having to, the postage is going to be astronomical, and I don't know where that would sit, because Hot Toys aren't going to put their hand in their pocket and give you the money.
No.
If you've got it with someone like Sideshow, you might get more joy, but it is a difficult one, and that's why I decided that I wouldn't order it direct from a Hong Kong seller. So I'm probably paying a little bit more. I think I'm paying about $8.50. But obviously that's with I know that that's delivered. No customs have been taken care of by the company. I did see today that a lot of people are getting emails that there's a delayed. So there's a possibility that Hot Toys are going to delay it to possibly deal with some of the QC issues, but that's just speculation at the moment.
I doubt that. I can't see that happening.
Yeah, no.
I really can't see that happening.
No.
Like, I just think they're just like, yeah, take it or leave it. Do you know? So, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know how I feel. I owned the original DeLorean. Sold that last year. And I was happy with not having one, but then I picked up the dock from Back to the Future, and I thought I needed a DeLorean back. And when I saw the blogger photos, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna order that. So, yeah, it's not acceptable. I think for the amount of money that we're spending on this stuff, there's not many moving parts, so I think they should have put the work into making sure that the parts that do move are fit for purpose, and whether that would needed some metal or die cast or what have you, or just a different way of doing it, because yeah, I mean, if I get mine and I break it, then I could probably fix it. I don't mind, putting the work in, but you shouldn't have to. And I understand, a lot of people aren't confident to do any sort of mods or anything to their figures or what have you. So it's yeah. So I won't be cancelling my order. I'll definitely be getting it. And obviously, I think it's a bit like fingers crossed that that it doesn't come damaged already. I know some people have had seats that have come loose, and where they've rattled around in the cabin, they've kind of scratched some of the interior. But yeah. So I mean, I probably won't have mine till sort of quite late in the game. So it's won't be anything that I can kind of report back on anytime soon. But yeah, I'll definitely be keeping the order.
Yeah, I hope when you get it that you don't have any QC issues. I hope it's just one of the ones that gets through and the lights are fine and the glue is fine and I'm more
worried about the lights not working, to be honest, because that's something that I really couldn't fit. I wouldn't want to start stripping it down and trying to sort electronics out and stuff like that. I don't mind. That'd be the worst. That'd be the worst of my worries if the lights didn't work, to be honest. But all right. So they're saying weather might be a contributing factor. Yeah, possibly. I mean, plastic gets cold, it does become brittle. But yeah, it's a shame because everyone was so excited for that release. And anyway, we'll get to that later. We've probably spoken too much about it already, but we'll come back to that. So we have a reissue of Paz Vizsla, Heavy Mandalorian, from Mandalorian. This is his Book of Boba Fett. I mean, it's got the Mandalorian there, but was it in Book of Boba where he had this shield?
This is Book of Boba Fett. This should be branded Book of Boba Fett. It was in Book of Boba Fett. But we do know that the best two episodes of Book of Boba Fett were Mandalorian 2.5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course.
And like shields are like the flavor of the week now, apparently.
Yeah, Bo-Katan. Yeah. So you've got the original with this guy, haven't you?
Yeah, I got the original, and it's a super looking piece. I've nothing bad to say about it, but I would be in no way inclined to get this. But like, I don't really sell too many figures. Like I have maybe sold about 5, 6 or whatever, but always because there's I just have a better version en route. But for this, like, this is a guy who, it's a super looking figure, but it could potentially be on the chopping block. So I think in Mandalorian, I think like, what's important? The Durasteel, some version of the Beskar, the Boba Roba 2-pack, which I absolutely love, Ahsoka, and then maybe the Jedi Luke, because they're the episodes that stand out to me when I think of Mandalorian. The Ahsoka episode, the Return of Boba Fett, obviously the season 2 finale. But I I wouldn't rush to it yet, like, because I still think this guy would look great posed back to back with the big gun with the Mandalorian, like, you know, it's a cool looking pose off, like, so yeah, I wouldn't rush into it, like, you know, but
no,
yeah,
that'd be my view.
super big. Yeah,
it's a cool looking figure, and I was tempted to pick up the original one, but I think like you're saying, it's not a character that you fallen in love with, because it's only he's a you know, a background character and stuff like that, and the ones you've mentioned are the main character and everything. So I think I always find that they're the first ones that kind of get pushed to the to the fringes, and are the ones that are going to go.
But if this guy plays a major role in season 3 and takes off his helmet, and I know it's some other big bodybuilder dude body, but if they show us Jon Favreau's head sculpt, I'm not sure if I'm able to turn down the guy who gave us Elf, kickstarted the MCU with Iron Man, and, you know, saved Star Wars. Like, you know, I don't know, people will say, but they were making millions anyway, as in decent storyline, decent actual show, save Star Wars. Like, I don't think I'd be able to go no, because he's just, come on, you know, he's just a dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it would be cool. But talking of that, it's funny that the Hot Toys have started sort of soliciting pictures of the R5 D4 pit droid and was it BD something 72 the droids, and I saw it and I thought, hang on a minute, didn't that come out? Didn't they put that for pre-order back in October?
What
so
was
it's just
that?
like a blatant. It's just because
of the
clearly,
episode.
Yeah, and the R5's been given his own like little character now. It's kind of like, maybe people didn't order it and they suddenly thought, well, this is the kickstart we need.
I gotta say, like, I'm a non-believer when it comes to the N1. I want to be wrong. I want it to go up for pre-order because I want to see the photos. I want to watch the streams. I want to, you know, see how much it's going to cost, how much the shipping will be, how is it going to ship? Is it going to be in parts? I want it to happen. I want to be wrong. I'm just a non-believer. But every day, things like this happen. I'm like, they might just be doing it, like, you know.
Yeah, he's been in the Starfighter now, so it kind of adds some credence. That I'm with you. I would verge on, you know, the it's not coming side, but as you say, never say never, and this adds some weight to that. But I don't think it will. It'd be interesting to see if they've got it at Celebration.
Yeah.
You know.
And then me, you, and Ian can break it up into the 3 parts that it comes in and out the door. It's like two guys in OFAC t-shirts and a guy in full Stormtrooper outfit.
Exactly. No
one's going to mess with us.
No, definitely not. I mean, obviously, this guy is not due to Q2, Q3 2024. So I think if you need to scratch this itch, you could probably pick up the original one for you know, I don't think the price has fluctuated too much. I think he went up a bit when he kind of originally sold out, but I've seen quite a few of them up. And to be honest, I don't think that shield's worth holding out for this one. It looks way too small for him, really.
I didn't particularly like it in the show.
No,
I thought it was gimmicky in the show, and those 2 episodes I think were just great Star Wars media. I rewatched them during the week, super, but I just didn't. I thought it was a bit gimmicky in the show, personally.
Yeah. So this is funny. Andre, he's got. It says. He's just a dude playing a dude pretending to be another dude. Now, I believe that's Tropic Thunder. I watched that a couple of nights ago. And
same. I've never seen it.
Robert Downey Jr., I think, when he's playing his... Yeah. You never seen it?
Oh, no, I hadn't seen it up until about like 2 months ago, and I watched it. I thought it was funny. I enjoyed it. Like, I watched...
It's one
Robert Downey Jr. on Joe Rogan, and he was like, "Yeah, that would never happen today." Like, so.
No. It's one of those ones where you think, no, it could be made today, but it does make me laugh. It's stupid, but it makes me laugh. But yeah, that's a good.
It's like Jack Black and the Bat just cracks me up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. So yeah, he'll City back 260, and he's out Q2, Q3 2024. No, this one's not good.
No, this one's not good. Yeah.
No. So we've got the SW Toys times Tough Guy Toys, Blacksmith Turner. So the reason I put this in is because I got the Barbosa figure from SW Toys, and I think it's fantastic. I did a really good job on that, and so he's alongside my Jack Sparrow, and so yeah, I kind of thought they might do some of the others, but this is the next one to pop up. So this is what's his first name?
Is this meant to be Orlando Bloom?
Yeah, it is.
Is it right? Okay,
yeah.
okay, great. Yeah.
Will Turner,
I only watch these movies once each. Is it Will?
Right. Yeah, I think it's Will Turner. But it's meant to be Orlando Bloom, and I think they've failed quite badly on that one.
This looks like a guy I went to school with. Like,
yeah.
So, yeah. He was questionable.
Yeah. I think the outfit's okay, although it's not a particularly great look. I don't think for the character. The outfit and everything on the other one was really good. But I think it's a shame that they've kind of missed the likeness on there. So he is £125 and available Q3 2023. It's a shame because they're obviously looking to kind of put together a line here of characters, and I think that the Barbosa sold really well. I don't think this one's going to sell quite so well, so whether this will kind of be the end of their Pirates of the Caribbean line or not, don't know. But, and the next one, another blast from the past, one of those where you just think, surely there's nobody that wants figures from Face Off, which must have come out in 96, 97, something like that.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't watched it in years, and it kind of makes me want to go back and watch it.
Same.
I remember it being good at the time, but I don't know if it's going to hold up. But so we've got 108 Toys face change. Let's see what they've done there. So we've got
who comes up with this shit? Like, I mean,
I know,
at least try to make it sound cool. Like, swap off.
So we've got so we've got Castor Troy, played by Nicolas Cage, and we've got Sean Archer, played by John Travolta.
I would have called him Sugar Troy. Just because it's stupid. Oh God.
Yeah. So, what did you make of these? Is this a film where you've been begging for these figures for years?
I think this is a film that I thought was cool around the time I hit puberty.
Yeah.
And if I watched it now, I probably think it's shite. But I really want to go back and watch this. This is one of those movies that the guys on Tuesday nights should watch and comment on. But I do want to watch this again now. The likeness here, I can see where they're going. But I think with the glasses on, the Travolta with the glasses on doesn't look too bad.
No.
Yeah, I could see who's they're trying to be there. I think if you're a diehard fan of this, you might be able to excuse,
Yeah. and it comes with this weird, like the weird eyes closed sculpt as well.
I've got a question
so these
now.
guys, go on.
I've just got a question. Sorry, I know the delay is quite frustrating. I've got a question for you in the chat. Is this on the screen now John Travolta's character, or is it actually Nicolas Cage? That's what I want to know. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know.
No, you don't know. You don't know.
No.
And he's got those cool, like, I need to go and watch it now, but he's got these kind of like, they're like magnetic kind of metal boots that stopped him from escaping prison or something.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means it is John Travolta's character if he has the boots.
Yeah.
Was he not? Oh no, he was no. Or is
No,
that's what
so
depends. But
Nicolas
yeah.
Yeah.
I need to watch it again.
Because he doesn't come with them, but yeah, no, it definitely demands a rewatch. I'm not sure that it's going to be quite as good as I thought it was at the time. So this is Cage before going into prison. Yeah,
And he has the flick. There's a butterfly knife, which he gives to his daughter, who's not actually his daughter, because he's like, "Do you have protection?" And he holds the butterfly knife and gives it to her. It's like, right, Dad's changed, you know.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So, I admire the kind of the expanding the range of figures available to us, but it's just one of those weird ones where you think, oh yeah, Face Off. So I might have to watch that.
Same.
I'm not sure if. Where do you think it is? Is it on Disney? I have to find out where it is. Who's got it? I used to have it on Blu-ray or DVD, but not anymore. So funny as they do the surgery, removing his face, they cut his hair at the same time. No worries about infection. It's a great film.
I don't think he's being sincere.
No.
Oh God, that's brilliant.
And then Disney Plus. Yeah, if it's Fox, that's fine. I'll watch it on there. So then these next two, I've got no idea what's going on here. I just thought they were funny. So we've got the very interestingly named Toys Trubo Studio. We've got obviously Spider-Man figures, but the cosplay wrestler suit, which I remember him wrestling in the first movie. I don't remember him looking like this.
I wonder, is this from a comic? Is it?
And then there's this Last Stand suit, which is kind of weird. It's almost like makes me think of the Gotham by Gaslight, like it's a Victorian kind of Spider-Man reimagined thing. But I've got no idea if anybody in the chat has got any idea what these guys are, where they're from, or please chime in, because I saw these come up on 1/6 kit, and I thought I'd stick them in, but I don't like them, and I don't know what they're from. But
I think these are actually 1/6 scale car robbers from Bolton. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. I don't know. Weird. I guess neither of us will be picking these up.
No.
But yeah. But again, variety is the spice of life, and compared to what was available in this hobby even 5 years ago, I think the explosion of all these kind of third-party companies has been brilliant for the hobby.
I think those face-off ones. Sorry, go on. Those face-off ones.
No, I'm gonna say,
someone out there is going to want them.
They're not that bad. I've definitely seen a lot worse. But I think from the price point, and also giving us figures that we would never have got from the big players. So I'm very much. So,
and in fairness, they've just been through surgery, so.
Yeah. If you want one of these guys, they're £140 each, and they are due release Q4 2023. So last in here is a tease from that Present Toys may be bringing us the Ghostbusters, which I think is really cool. The Blitzway ones, I owned them. I bought the 4-pack way back when they first came out, and they were really cool. The gear and stuff came with them. Sculpts questionable, weren't the best, and obviously Winston got a bit of a bashing for the for his portrait, and I sold them on. I think I sold them kind of in separate figures because as much as I love the Ghostbusters, I really do, and but when you're kind of, my view was that, you know, when you're kind of pressed for space, when you've got 4 guys that are essentially wearing exactly the same outfit, it kind of, I kind of decided that I didn't have the room for them. I never intended to get Ecto 1 because that thing is just insanely huge and expensive. And I think for a while I kept Dan Aykroyd, I kept Ray, but ultimately I sold him as well. But I would be interested to come, you know, if Present Toys do this and they kind of come in at the sort of 150, 160 mark, or a slightly reduced total amount if they come out as a set. I'd be interested to possibly pick them up depending on the sculpts. So this was just a tweet, I think, or Instagram, saying we're getting 6-scale Ghostbusters. Present Toys will be doing the Ghostbusters lineup. This is confirmed by a prominent retailer. So make of that what you will. People are saying this is the Blitzway figure, so it's not any indication of what the Present Toys one will look like, you know, quality wise. But yeah, how about yourself? Where does Ghostbusters sit in your kind of your 80s?
Like, yeah, it's one of the first like things that like cartoons. I used to love the cartoon, and
yeah, real Ghostbusters.
yeah, I used to love that. Like, and I there was a few, like, I remember having like a few figures as a kid, and you twisted the back of the sorry, I'm going to be such a casual here now. The proton packs. What's the name of the actual blaster?
Oh, the
thing they had,
wand.
The neutrino. There was a little thing you spun on the back, and it had this plastic that spun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. It was as basic as it gets.
Yeah,
I remember the plastic proton pack. Like, but yeah, I thought the Ghostbusters was cool. Seen the films, obviously, but in terms of actually, kind of like you're saying, committing. I don't have the love enough to commit to spending the amount of money on either the third parties or the Blitzway or the Ecto one. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
It's not something that I would need. It's same as the DeLorean. Like, I thought that DeLorean, especially the hover converted one, is so beautiful. But as much as I know that the trilogies, they're classic films, and I enjoy watching the films, I wouldn't say it was a really prominent part of my childhood. So no. On that though, I have found a 4-pack Blitzway special pack with the Slimer for €1,000.
Wow,
that's really cheap, isn't it? Because they're going for like anywhere between 2,000 and 4,000. Because I just, and it's still there and it's legit. I was like, all right, that'd be an easy flip, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Basically, retail price, that is.
Yeah. So, like, the person had them for like 2,500. No one was buying them. Dropped it down to 2,000. No one's buying them. €1,500. And I was looking. I was like, okay, that's his bottom line. And then bang.
Yeah.
Dropped it down to 1,000.
What's that on eBay?
In eBay, I think I can check it now. I think they're about $3,500. I'll check this sold while we're chatting here. But
yeah.
Demented, like Blitzway, Ghostbusters. Right, filter. Where's the sold option? So I wonder how much. I think these are selling for crazy prices.
Yeah.
Yeah, €2,000 is just one that was sold just a few days ago. Or no, sorry, 5th of March, 2000. I mean, that's for the exact same thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
Exactly.
actually a three
New.
pack. That wasn't even the 4 pack.
Oh, it's
They were
the
missing.
Doctor's 3-pack. Oh, blimey. No Winston.
Yeah, that's mad.
That's kind of racial.
That is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see a lot of these. There's a 4 pack there for 2,000. These are those sold ones. €2,000, €2,000. It seems like if you, wow, one sold for €3,316.
Cool.
I'm very tempted to buy that and then sell it for €2,000. But
Yeah,
I just don't really
yeah,
operate
if
like
it's,
that.
if it's legit.
But
Yeah.
I could.
No, I know. I know.
yeah.
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 I think. Yeah. You know, the flipping game. It's a controversial one. Some people are dead against it. I think that, you know, sometimes you get lucky. You know, you get something at a good deal, and why not if you can get it cheap and sell it, you know, and somebody's prepared to pay the price you're asking as long as it's a reasonable price, then I don't see any issue with it. And I have done it, and then you know, I have funded my hobby with things like that. You know, I've split a lot of DX05 indies in my time that paid for stuff. So, you know, I don't see a problem.
It's very
with it,
easy
so.
for someone though on the outside to go, "Oh, you bought something for 500 and you're selling it for 1,000." Some poor collector. It's like some poor collector also doesn't go to work for me. So it's like, come on, like it's kind of in a way it's business then. Like, but I don't do the whole flipping thing. I usually I think I've sold more or less everything I've sold for a loss because I just like, yeah, look, I just want a quick sale. I'm willing to take a hit in it, and I just don't moan about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't purposely buy stuff to flip, but sometimes you get something and you're not sure about it, and then you see that, you know, people are shouting for it, so you kind of, you know, you can. I think most of the time you can move stuff on. You know, so I'm very much of the view that if you've paid a deposit, you're better off if you can to stump up the cash, buy it, and then resell it, because you know, especially if it's a new like that Joker, you know, things like that you'd easily get your money back. But yeah, so I'd be interested to see this. I'm not necessarily that I would jump on them because again, I'm not sure where I'd put them. But I think it's cool, and Present Toys have proved themselves that they are decent, you know, a decent company, and their products are good quality. I've got the Indiana Jones, although I sold most of it on. I only kept a couple of bits, shirt and a jacket, one of the head sculpts, but it was a good, you know, good quality. So yeah, they're doing some good stuff. So. Okay, so let's do. So that's kind of the end of.
Shenanigans! 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 What?
So group shenanigans. We haven't had anything in here for a while, but obviously we've got a biggie this week, and we've probably spoken enough about it anyway. But the main obviously catalyst for this one was the Hot Toys DeLorean Back to the Future Part 2. When people were transforming it into the hover mode, flipping the wheels out, the hinges stuff have been cracking. So I don't know if it's just one person, but there's definitely somebody had the glue had come up away from one of the seats, and I think it rattled around a bit in the cabin and scratched it up a bit. So yeah, and then, you know, and this was you know, Shane, you wanted to kind of touch on this, and we thought we'd open it out a bit more to kind of like, you know, the future of the sort of 1/6 vehicles. I'll put a few offerings from Hot Toys, the 89 Batmobile, the Bat Cycle from the Batman, and obviously the holy grail of 1/6 vehicles, the N1 Starfighter. Well, they won't they? So yeah, what do you think? Obviously, we've talked about the DeLorean. You're going for the Batmobile, is that correct?
Yeah, I am. Just on the DeLorean, really, like I do empathize with collectors who have got it and it hasn't come as a right, because this was like one that was people were like rejoicing about. obviously I think it looks super with the hover conversion, the lights, and
It
all the
does.
little details
Yeah.
and light up. This was one that like a lot of people, especially around people in around their 40s and stuff, like they were really looking forward to this. And that sucks. That really
Yeah.
sucks when you paid the money,
Yeah.
you've waited so long, you've been patient, it arrives, and then you take it out, and its lights aren't working or glue or whatever, all the things you've mentioned. And
Yeah.
I hope,
Yeah.
I don't know, I hope it's just one batch or something like that. But I mean, I'm skeptical. I think there's going to be a lot more QC issues. The Batmobile,
Yeah.
I could not resist this one. I have a Batpod. I don't really have space for anything more than one vehicle. There is a space that I
You've
like.
decided
okay,
on
work.
on the windowsill. Is that its destination?
I'm still not 100%. I can definitely make it work. But I know that if I put it there and it doesn't look right, and I don't want. I've always wanted like the room, as much as it's a collection room, I do want it to be, you know, if it has to be an office or if it has to be a workroom or if I have to, you know, work from home and sometimes like if it's something you do, CPD days that I could blur out the background or whatever. So I didn't want to come in and go, God, there's junk everywhere, you know. So, the windowsill may not work, but there is another option which might just maybe just the table's quite big, and I think maybe if I just installed another shelf here specifically for it, that could work. So there's a few options, but I'm going for that. I maybe I'm very naive here, but I don't see the same QC issues because I think it's going to be more or less the exact same thing.
Yeah, so
You know,
I've owned the original one. That was another one that I kind of picked up from a fellow collector, and I got it, you know, at quite a good deal. And I owned it for quite a while. I had it for about 6 months, and I had it paired up with the Batman Returns Keaton Batman. All I would say is it will be a dust magnet. That'd be your biggest concern.
Yeah.
Because it's all black, and you know, if you obviously got it out in the open, it will collect dust. But I didn't have any. There weren't any QC issues with the one I had. Well, I say that there was a few. You have to be careful. It can get a little bit scratched up if you're not careful. But there was nothing on there that was of any real concern. I think there's a lot less to go wrong with it. I mean, it has got lights, but I think in terms of obviously moving parts and things like that, there's less to break on it than the DeLorean, particularly with obviously the new DeLorean with the transforming wheels. So I don't think you've got any worries there. It's essentially, you know, I don't think they've made any changes to the original one. And that was a pretty solid piece. So that's cool. Where did you order that from?
Did you? I'll answer that in 1 second. I'm just wondering, did you? Can you remember? Like, was it batteries or was it actually a power adapter?
Yeah, it was batteries at the time. So you took the section off at the back that's got the kind of like the louvered bits on it. You took that off, and then there was you put the batteries in there. So have they said whether or not it's going to have a USB option or anything on this one?
No, I've heard that they're making updates to it, but again, I just heard that in the grapevine.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's correct or what like that, you know. But it's I'm really looking forward to it because it's just 1989. It just I rewatched it the other day, and it's just. There was just so much nostalgia. Like I just absolutely loved it. Like, you know, so
it's definitely the best Batmobile in my view.
I agree. Like when I think of it, when I think of Batmobile, it's the first one that pops into my head. But at the same time, I recognize the beauty of the '66 or the animated or you know the Pattinson. Like, and I love the Tumbler, but for me the Tumbler is very practical. It kind of as in it's a tank that protects you. It's like the Batmobile from the Dark Knight Returns graphic novel, or you know, because it was very tank-like if you remember that.
Yeah,
but
it's a huge tank. Yeah,
it's not maybe the slickest looking thing, like because it's just a black tank.
No,
You know what I mean?
They nailed this. I think this is it's a design classic. It's a
Yeah, I think it's
fantastic,
beautiful. Yeah, absolutely nailed it.
looking vehicle.
I went with
it's huge, albeit 10 centimeters shorter than the Jazzy. It's still a huge.
Yeah. You can't say that.
No. I never felt it was underscaled. It's big enough. It's huge. It'll dominate your display room. And at no point did I go, do you know what? That needs to be a bit bigger. It's huge. I didn't really have the proper space to display it, and ultimately that's why I moved it on. The DeLorean's a lot more compact. So it's a little bit easier to display. Hence why I've kind of gone for the another one. But so you were going to say where you'd ordered yours from.
Yeah, I got mine from Line Rock Toys. It's fairly open about the kind of business relationship sounds a bit too official, like working relationship, whatever you want to call it, with them. Because I don't buy stuff to review. I don't. I have no interest in that. Because what you do then after it, I haven't got time for that. I buy things I like. Some reviews are probably biased, but I do review for them, and they do give me a better price, and they help me out with, like, say, shipping and customs, which is I don't have to explain customs to you. It's balls, but I got a pretty good price on it. I was very happy with it. I'm very happy with the price I got. So I hope that,
and it's even worse.
It'd be great if they made some tweaks.
We get it from Europe as well. We can't order anything from anywhere now. It was all right when we didn't get customs from Europe, but now it's just a nightmare. I'm surprised Brexit ever went through, to be honest. But I'd love somebody to sit down and tell me how it's helped us, what advantage it's given us in those years, because I can't see any positive effects of that. So so then we've got the Bat Cycle from the Batman. That looks really cool. Again, I'm not sure. There's probably not too much to go wrong on that.
I don't think so.
It looks because what's your stance on it? Did you go Hot Toys with this? Didn't you?
I didn't. I'm not getting the Bat Cycle because, again, I have the Bat Pod, and I just feel the Bat Pod is a lot more an iconic. I like the design better. I love the big wheels on it and everything. I think it's a cool looking motorcycle.
And then it came out of the tumbler.
Like this one here. To me, is just a black motorcycle with little bat ears.
It's
like a pocket.
Nothing special that screams Batman.
Still looks cool. But I can do without that. So, but I have picked up the Batman Hot Toys Battinson, the pack with the base and the signal. So I'm looking forward to that. I am looking forward to that because I did really like the movie. And I kind of agree with you. I think the Hot Toys one looked good enough to me that I wouldn't need to go with the in-art on that one. So and then the M1 Starfighter. Well, won't they? Be good to see it at Celebration, but that doesn't mean it's coming out. I can't see this coming out. I want to be wrong because I just want to see all the. I want to see all the hype, and I want to see all the people who will get it happy and stuff like that. And then there's so much going on. There's I want to know the price. I want to see the promo images. I want to see the actual dimensions. I want to see how they're going to ship it, how much it's going to cost to ship it, how long it's going to take. I want to see. I want to admire it. It'd be great if there's that celebration.
I hope it is. But even just to see it there, if it never comes out, it'd be great to see it in person.
But I think if they're not getting the DeLorean right, then if they this is inevitable that it'll have QC issues unless they learn from the DeLorean and kind of go, right, we need to take our time with this and make sure if maybe they have things spinning on it, or I'm sure they're going to have lights and stuff on it. And
Yeah, and
I
the
know.
issue with this is I think it's probably about 2 meters long because that spike at the back goes back a long way. So as you said,
Yeah.
you'd have to have some kind of modular system for for packaging. So I imagine that you'd have to have the engines come off. I know Jazz Inc does those sort of things with magnets, like on the land speeder and things like that. And I think the
The
back
Batwing.
section would need to come out. Yeah, and that spike would need to be detachable as well. And that's kind of where your issue is obviously if you've got to kind of assemble it, you could have QC issues there. And what would you guess the price would be if they did release it?
That's a great question because, like, if you think logically, it's clearly the most expensive thing on the screen. There's no doubt.
Correct. No,
No doubt. Like, if the DeLorean is $825, this has to be more expensive than that.
yeah, yeah.
I
easily.
would say, I'd say around the $1,200 mark.
Yeah, I was thinking
Personally.
1,200, 1,300.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As in, if this is around 1,000 mark, people are going to be saying it's good value. You know what I mean? Like, which is bizarre.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like it's just going to be. I do hope they do it though. I want to see. I want to see what they can do.
Yeah, it'd be good.
I want the hype.
Yeah, and they've they've had a history of I can't think. I mean, obviously they teased the Falcon cockpit a long time ago, way before Jazz Inc. Made his one, and that obviously never saw the light of day. I've got the Jazz Inc. cockpit, love it. That's probably the only Jazz Inc. piece I'll ever own. I'm glad to have it. That's really cool. But yeah, I think vehicles are cool. I think obviously when you talk about 1/6 scale, you're kind of you're pushing the boundaries of what most people can display. I guess if you you live in the States and you've got a massive basement and you've got room for these things, then fine. But I think for most of us, you could probably get one or two vehicles. And to say I had the DeLorean and the Batmobile, 89 Batmobile, at the same time, and I just couldn't do both of them justice. In display purposes, and I kind of I think I had the Batmobile kind of perched on a little table, and it was I was having to kind of squeeze past it every day, and if you can't enjoy it properly without thinking you're going to probably knock it off or something, then it's
yeah.
fine. So
I think if my kind of little kind of rule of thumb, like if something is in the way, it shouldn't be in the display. Like it shouldn't be kind of, oh, I've got to do a bit of work. I need to move this. I need to make a review. I need to move this.
yeah,
It should be just there and not an inconvenience. I should be able to admire it whenever I want. I don't want to have to take it out of the box to admire it. I don't want to have to, move it when I need to work. I want it just there, and I can sit back and go, yeah, that's pretty damn cool.
Yep.
So,
yeah, and that's
the
that's a
windowsill
very
is
measured
probably most,
and controlled view. And I think you're at that stage where you've still kind of got that control, and you've possibly even got spaces to put figures. Whereas I very am like, where the hell am I going to put anything?
yeah.
To the point where I would never. I'm not one for having stuff in boxes. I'm not one for rotating displays. If I can't display it, I won't buy it. Full stop. But it means that I've very much spilled out from my main display that's all nicely in the Billy bookcases with the doors and stuff. I have kind of got stuff everywhere, and but none of it is actually in the way and stops me doing stuff in it, because I work in this. This is where I work as well as stream and everything. But it does get tricky. And I mean, I could put some shelves. You've got the floating shelves. I could put a run of shelves along that wall there, which I might have to do because I put some behind
love
me
them.
here, and I basically, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I love them.
I've kind of done what you were possibly talking about with that windowsill. About I cut a piece of wood that extends out further than the bookcase.
Yeah.
There, so I've got enough space for the DeLorean to sit on there with Doc and Marty. So you could do a similar thing with the Batmobile. You could just, you know, if you need to just widen it a little bit, cut a piece of wood. The majority of the weight will be over the windowsill anyway, so you're not got any worries about it tipping. Do you ever open that window, or is it always
No,
shut?
I never open it. Like maybe
Okay,
the odd time, just to let a bit of air in over the summer. But no,
Yeah.
and they're blackout blinds, so there's no light to come in.
Yeah.
And
No.
no.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be. Yeah, I like the idea of everything being clean, but I think I've maybe lost a little bit of control here. But I could probably get another cabinet in. But I don't. At some point, because this is also I work in here, but it's a cinema room. I've got a projector above me.
Oh, cool.
And I want to repaint it all, make it all black and stuff in here, but I just I can't face the act of deconstructing this room because there is so much stuff in here. And where does it go? I haven't got anywhere I can just put it all. And I've been looking at, you know, do I hire like a storage unit for a month, or you get these mobile ones that they'll deliver and put on your driveway and stuff like that with the lock on and everything. I really want to do it because it will look fantastic, and it gives me a chance to strip the display back and redo it all from scratch, which I've never done because it's always just like an evolving thing. But
that'll be exciting.
It scares me at the prospect. Yeah, and obviously because I've got a lot of wiring going in there with all the CCSL lightsabers and things like that.
And then you can be like
get
Thanos.
Yeah.
Then you can be like Thanos. You can just like sit back over a grateful world and watch what you've created. Like you know, so
yeah,
when you're done,
and I'm pretty happy with my collection, to be honest. I'm only picking up odd pieces now. You know, things that draw me in, like the in art, you know, the Aragorn and stuff like that. But yeah, it could probably be slightly better, and I could get another full height Billy in here, which is probably the best plan, because then I could probably get most of the stuff that I've got kind of scattered around in there. But yeah, it's always a fight for room. But,
it's like money and space.
Yeah, I think space caught up first, but money with the way that obviously the prices of stuff is kind of going up all the time. That has become a consideration as well. You know, and I have sold a lot of figures. My collection has kind of evolved, but I've got to that point now where I'd be really hard put to choose anything that I could get rid of now. So it's a case of finding some space. So yeah, it'll get done one day, but I just keep procrastinating. I keep putting it off.
It keeps it interesting though. You'll always have that, like, you know, that idea in mind. Then if you ever want to just like, if you're like, okay, I need to do something different, then now's the time. Yeah,
exactly.
It'll make sense.
Yeah, that's cool. So so I think the vehicles are cool, but they you know, and obviously if you go with a bike or something, it takes up a lot less space. But again, you know, we're paying a premium for these, and as much as they need to get, you know, the figures right, I think the vehicles they need to sort out the QC issues, because they're big sticker price items, and yeah, people aren't going to want to risk putting their money there if you know, and as I said before earlier on, you know, you're in a whole different world of having to ship something like this back to Hong Kong or China than
it's
a
figure. World of pain.
And it's kind of one of the reasons why, not that I'm a statue guy, but one of the reasons why I probably never get into statues is the fact that I wouldn't want to, if I decided that I didn't want a statue anymore, the thought of having to ship that to somewhere, not only for the cost but the risk that it gets broken in transit, kind of puts me off the whole statue idea as well. Because I do tend to, I do buy things and then decide a year or two down the line that I want to move those on, so that's kind of that'd be the same thing with the vehicles, really. I think you've got to think about what you would do if you are unfortunate enough to have an issue with it, how you would deal with that.
Yeah, I couldn't be dealing with that. It's just
no. So
it's just so much.
Wish me luck on my DeLorean, and I wish you the same luck on your Batmobile when it comes.
Yeah, definitely.
Comes.
I just hope it's just a bad batch, but yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah, and it's happened before with Hot Toys that they've had QC issues with figures from the first batch, which they have sorted, or it was just that batch that had an issue and later stuff. So, I mean, there's always an argument to say don't go first batch on stuff because, you open yourself up to more risk of QC, which doesn't tend to be as prevalent in later batches. But it's more difficult to know now because the whole batch thing is kind of, you've got Sideshow sending out the Chrome Mandos, and yet the second batch in Hong Kong hasn't been released yet, so it's kind of mixed that all up a bit now.
What's a batch? How many's in a batch?
Yeah, I know.
The batch different for every single figure. Yeah, it's a bit mad, isn't it?
It made sense from the Hong Kong view because batch 1 was you physically had to have one person, one ticket, one figure, and they had all those pictures of them queuing up and down the stairs in Secret Base, and then obviously the wholesale one is when it basically goes out to shops. But now it's all a bit clouded as to like Sideshow get stuff earlier and things like that. So I don't know. It's more difficult to know what batch you're in or that sort of thing. But I just hope that these are isolated cases. We've seen quite a few examples, but we don't know how many. If it's 10 people out of 1,000, then that's still pretty good odds that you're going to get a decent one.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
And as with anything, we only ever hear about the things that have gone wrong. So keep our fingers crossed that they're fairly isolated in terms of percentages of ones that come out with issues. And then this one, I don't know whether you there was apparently a few QC issues with the in-art Joker. So they've got the rooted one there, which they seem to have used some sort of chewing gum to stick the back of the head on. I'm not quite sure what
the thing is.
What's going on there?
That doesn't. That's not there. Like, I don't think that's there on the actual figure. I think this is the person trying to fix it.
Oh, I see. They've stuck that on, have they? Because it was.
Because I've seen
I don't know what the issue
reviews.
Was,
you to use the joystick. Let's say the rooted one in the middle. To use the joystick to change the eyes. There's a little panel. You can see it in his ham down below. That like you have to reach underneath the outer layer of the rooted hair, and then there's a little circular part with a bit of rooted hair on it. So I'm looking at that.
So you don't have to remove that. You don't remove that whole section. It's.
I think you can remove the whole section, as far as I know, but I think it clips back in. I'm not sure. I think it's magnetic or whatever. I think this person has used the blue tack just to. Maybe the thing wasn't sticking back or clipping in right. That's be my best guess here because I haven't seen that blue chewing gum looking stuff.
No, it looks a bit ropey.
Any of the reviews?
I don't think that, as you say, So maybe it wasn't clipping in properly. Maybe that was the QC.
This could be someone going, I just want to cause chaos.
Could be.
I'm going to take a picture of my rooted and stick some chewing gum on it.
Yeah, yeah. And I think the one on the far right, the sculpted one, is an issue with the paint job, I assume. That the transition from the scalp to the hair to the I'm assuming that it shouldn't have the white paint in it. It should be brown, the hair nearest the scalp, and then go into the green.
Are you talking about the picture on the right?
Yeah, the picture on the right, the sculpted one.
And the bits of white on the green?
Yeah, yeah.
No, that's actually okay, because if you
Okay.
the rooted has it as well. If you think about it, like the Joker's putting on makeup, the white makeup, like if to do everything perfectly, it would have to be like a perfect line around. But realistically, he's going to slather it on. There'll be tiny little bits of paint in the hair. It comes through really well on the rooted that it's just like intentional attention to detail. You know what I mean? It's just that it's not perfectly put on. There's tiny little bits of. It actually looks screen accurate. It looks so good. Like, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, again, so I don't think there's anything to worry about here. This is obviously, one person or a couple of people that have tried to do some kind of, maybe theirs didn't clip back in properly. But, I haven't seen anything. I know Ian put these in the chat. But I don't think it's anything to worry about. As you say, and what I've seen of the figure, it looks fantastic.
I think by all accounts they've delivered on what they had set out to deliver.
Yeah, and that's
Is
what
it perfect?
I kind
Probably
of
not.
waited for. No, and I wanted to wait for their first release to come out before I committed to the Lord of the Rings stuff, and I was satisfied that what I saw was close enough to what was listed and that the quality was there. I initially was just going for Aragorn, but then 1/6 Kit said that they'd got some extra slots for Gandalf, so I thought, okay, I'll go with Gandalf. If I don't like him as much, I'll move him on, and I'll just have Aragorn as a standalone. But if I like the two, then I'll be keeping my eye on Legolas when he gets listed.
That Aragorn, so good.
Amazing.
The prototype
I
looks
do
so
hope.
good.
Yeah, I hope that they can get, close to that at least for the production one, because I couldn't not buy it. I mean, I'm a massive Lord of the Rings fan anyway, but it's one of those things where even if I wasn't, I think I just have to buy it just because it's that good. Looking forward to that. I think that's early next year, but Gandalf is meant to be middle of this year, so that'll be my first experience of in hand. I'm not 100% sold on the sculpt, but I think again it's a very good Gandalf, if not a perfect Ian McKellen, and I can kind of work with that. That's not a massive issue. It's all about the sum of the parts kind of thing. So that's cool. And then one last thing. Do you want to do this one? Do you want to read through this, Shane?
Can
you see it
I'll do
enough?
that one. I have the email, so I can
Or
just,
you've
just
got it.
read the email. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Let's see if we get this. Okay, so my in-art Joker rooted 2-back is shipping from Lion Rock Toys, but I also ordered a single sculpted, and I went with Toys buying agent for that at the time. Just made sense at the time, and I just thought I really want this character because my first 2 Hot Toys were Batman and Joker from The Dark Knight. It was starting to look really dated. I sold it off, and I wanted a good representation of the Joker. At that time, I thought maybe the Hot Toys would do a 3.0, as everyone did. And then now, then obviously In-Art came in. I was like, okay, this is amazing. But the rooted hair, I was very skeptical that I thought maybe there's a possibility the rooted hair from the prototypes that in the main production, the product wouldn't match the prototype. I thought maybe, because I'd never had a rooted hair like that. I'd never seen it that good, and I was thinking, I don't think this might not turn out. So I wanted to hedge my bets.
So you hedged
So
your bets.
I got it sculpted. Yeah. But this worked out perfect, because now, by all accounts, all the prototypes, videos, images, reviews I've seen, the rooted hair seems to be a massive hit. It looks very, very well out of the box.
Yeah.
And it's great the way it's shipped and those things. So anyway, so this was basically essentially, I was going to order this and sell it in, I don't know, a year from now or whatever. So I got this message. Toys Buying Agent sent you a message. My friend, we regret to inform you that all pre-orders of the in-art products Joker, Batman and Gandalf on our site will be cancelled. Our top-level wholesaler falsely claimed to deal directly with in-art and collected deposits from various parties, including our supplier, before absconding with the funds. As a result, we are unable to fulfill your orders. We were recently informed of this situation by our trustworthy supplier and have still received a full refund. We understand that this is disappointing news, and we want to make things right for you. As a gesture of goodwill, we would like to offer you the following terms of compensation. Number 1, we will issue a full refund for your deposits. Alternatively, you may choose to transfer the deposit to another item of your choice on our website. Number 2, we will be sending coupons to customers who were affected by this incident. These coupons can be used for any item on our website as a token of our appreciation for your continued support. We would like to emphasize that this incident has not affected any other pre-orders on our website except for in-art products. You can continue to place orders for other products with confidence as our supplier, and we have been dealing directly with these brands and companies for many years. We remain committed to providing you with the best possible service and ensuring your satisfaction. In addition, we have decided not to sell any in-art products from in-art in the future. We apologize for any frustration or inconvenience this may have caused. We value your business and hope to continue to serve you in the future. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to contact us. Please let us know your preference, whether it will be a full refund or transferring the deposit to another item on your site. We will handle it as soon as possible. Thank you. So I emailed them straight away. I said thanks for the coupons, because they had immediately after this sent the coupons. Thanks for the coupons.
Oh, they'd already sent them. Okay.
Already sent them. It was a follow-up email. I said email them straight away.
Yeah.
Thanks for the coupons. I'll go for a full refund to the card I used to pay, because that's just, I suppose I got the invoice for the in-art rooted 2-pack, and then I got this on the one day. I was like, okay, makes sense. I can claim back, because I paid 50% on this. I don't care, but this is very personal, because it's like I was going to sell that anyway, because now I've seen that the rooted was good. But I would imagine if you were buying the rooted 2-pack or whatever, or the sculpted, and you were really looking forward to this is going to annoy you. However,
definitely,
they've got a great reputation, and I think they've done great here. They've actually owned it. I think this is a win for their customer service personally. But,
no, I completely agree. I think they've done the right thing. I've been buying from them for years, and they're completely blameless in this. Obviously, they've done the right thing, but obviously it's an annoyance for people that did order with them, because they've done so on the back of the fantastic reputation that Toys Buying Agent Tim Center has. But obviously these people are now in a bit of a tricky situation, because they've got to try and source those figures from elsewhere. And obviously you don't really want to be doing that on eBay on the secondary market, because people are going to be scalping the hell out of these things. And I had a similar, the only kind of similar experience I had was back when the original Hot Toys Chewbacca came out. I had and this was a lesson learned, I had a pre-order for him with Zavi, UK seller. People haven't heard of them. They're fine if you buy stuff in stock, but it's really not a good idea to pre-order, because you got no guarantee they're ever going to get them. And at the last minute, they cancelled my order and said, oh, we can't get him. And I had a massive panic that where am I going to get this guy from, because it's sold out everywhere. And I did end up having to pay over the odds for one on eBay. So I kind of, you know, I feel the pain, and it may well be these people end up, you know, having to overpay for something that they thought they were getting. I definitely wouldn't, you know, if you're in that situation, it's very unfortunate. But again, I wouldn't let that put anyone off buying stuff from Toys Buying Agent Tim Sent. Fantastic reseller. Always had great communication, great customer service. I have tended to move more towards 1/6 kit, and that's where my in-art pre-orders were, purely because obviously TBA went to a 50% deposit in recent years. It used to be 20% if you wanted second batch, which I was happy with, but it got to the point where I'd done a few pre-orders, and I didn't really want to be paying 50% up front, so I kind of moved towards 1/6 kit, but that's just a personal choice. I mean, ultimately I probably win a little bit by having paid 50% on some of them, because with the exchange rate now
I get you.
going so bad, then obviously I've only taken that hit on 50% of it rather than 80%. Yeah, I feel for you guys if you're in that situation, and I kind of just hope that you can find, you know, you can secure an order somewhere else. The community's great, and I'm sure there's some people that are going to be looking to move these on, and, you know, not looking to make a massive profit. So hopefully you can find someone that's, you know, changed their minds on this, and you can pick theirs up, take over their pre-orders, what have you.
Yeah. If you really want it, I'd say hit up 1/6 kit, hit up Spec Fiction, hit up Lion Rock Toys. Just send out your emails and, you know, get on a waiting list, or, you know, just say, like, email me if someone cancels. And I think if you want one, you can get one.
Yeah, or they might end up with getting a couple of extra. They can get a couple extra or something, and if you've got your name down there, then yeah, you've got a good chance of converting one. So yeah, hopefully, you know, say everyone can get what they ordered. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's not an exact science, this hobby, particularly you know. I think in the States and that's kind of partly why we started the OFAC, really, was to kind of put a different spin on the fact that if you don't live in the US and you're not buying from Sideshow, it's a very different. It's a bit of a black art, isn't it? To you know, and I came into this hobby 10 years ago, and there wasn't anywhere near the, you know, the Facebook community and the different sellers and stuff, and it was a real kind of tricky to get hold of figures and things like that, and it's a lot easier now, but it's still a little bit of a you know, most people if you ask people in the street, they'd never have heard of Hot Toys, so they wouldn't know about this stuff. You can't walk into a shop in this country and buy Hot Toys, not new. I mean, you see, we've got a comic book shop near here, and they buy used ones from people and then sell them for ridiculous prices. Well, I don't know if people buy them. They seem to have more and more every time I go in there, so they're probably not selling them. But you know, the concept of going in and buying one of these new from a shop just doesn't exist. It's probably even more extreme for you where you are. And obviously, I think you get hit. It sounds like you get hit worse for customs than we do. I normally avoid customs. I haven't had too many hits on them, but
I think maybe
like
that's
you
the
fair.
Yeah, it's. I think the general rule is, like, in Ireland, if you buy something outside the EU worth over €100, typically you get charged about 30%, roughly, customs, goods and services. So it's basically the price of the item plus whatever it costs to ship it. You know what I mean? So it's not just the item.
Disgusting.
Yeah, and then some of the shipping on this, like your standard 6 scale is
Yeah.
$50 from Sideshow. So
Yeah.
you know, you order an Iron Man that's $400, and it costs, that'll probably cost, die cost probably $60 to ship. That's $460.
Yeah.
You add on like 30%, and that's another like 138. So you're talking nearly $600.
Yeah.
So,
How they
Nope.
ever got away with charging the 30% on the shipping as well? Unbelievable.
and here's another thing.
Gone. Yeah.
So now go on.
No. You can carry on.
Just if you say like I have a Mark, was it 47, which I pretty much got for like $100 from Sideshow brand new, because I had loads of points at the time. I was playing every game under the sun. So it was like a brand new figure. It was like I think it was $100 shipped, but the customs.
That's the red and silver one, is it?
The gunmetal one, yeah. Because I really like Homecoming. I like Tom
gunmetal.
Holland Spider-Man.
Which was up at about £1,000 at one point.
Yeah,
on the used
yeah. It was
market.
$374. Then the reissue was for diecast Iron Man, great head sculpt, loads of accessories. I like the movie as well, unique as well. But yeah, so kept building up the points and playing all their games, and if I ended up pulling it, it was like I had maybe $200 worth of points from playing their games and the few things I had ordered. And then there was this I don't know, Black Friday deal which knocked off like 15%. I was like, right, today's the day. That was about 2 years ago, whatever. Did that. But even though I only paid like maybe $100 for it shipped, the customs that was calculated was 30% of the original value of it, not what I paid for it, which sucks. Like
No. It sucks. And I mean, I disagree with the whole concept. I mean, I guess that our governments have to make money somehow. I understand if it's something that you could buy that was made in this country and you're choosing to buy abroad instead, and you're robbing your own country of money. But you know, these things aren't made in this country. They're not made in Ireland. They're made in Hong Kong. It's the only place you can get them from.
No, they're just robbery.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
yeah,
it's robbery.
Yeah.
It's like we make money because we work, and they just make up rules. So it's like the way it is.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's but yeah, so hopefully people can find their figures somewhere else, and definitely don't be put off buying with TBA, because it's not their fault, and they're a great company.
I wouldn't be. I'd definitely buy off them again if I needed to. I just don't think they're going to offer me the same deals that Lion Rock are offering me. So it's like
no, that's cool, and I think everyone has their preferred sellers, and there's plenty of good guys out there. So that's kind of the end of the content for the show. It's been a good show. Thanks for listening to us all, everybody. I know we probably lose a few people now, but it's been great. We had about 25 people at one point, so that was really good. I'm just going to run through the Patreon members. We've got Ian CB, René Mendes, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, Equan, Chris Valencerina, Ben Thomas, Chris Leddy, David Jones, Sam Gist, Dominator, Joel Brader, Thomas Clark, Eric Switzer, Six Guns Figs, Bad Fish, Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Crett, Big Fern, Caesar Mariquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bermondsky, Rick De Gregorio, John the Everyday Collector, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Assassina, Luscious Rainer, Alid Morgan, Takarthi Wah, Derek Brzezinski, Aris Portillo, Mark Randolph, Alvin J, Jazz Carroll, Joe Ridley, Pablo Maisie, D-Rock, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Maton, Jimmy James, Stephen Purchase, Sean Yauchi, Scott Bradley, Stephen Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, Brenton Palmer. Thank you all for your continued support with Patreon. It does a lot for the channel in terms of equipment and stuff. And thanks to you guys, Ian and I are being sent an official business to Celebration. So thank you very much for that. We'll be there to kind of document the show, meet up with our fellow collectors. I get to meet Shane in person, I hope. And Ian for the first time. We've never met in person, so that's going to be really cool. And we hope to take lots of videos, photos, maybe do a little live stream from there. So that's fantastic. So if you want to join the Patreon, we've got the hot seat, $5 a month gets you access to Ox After Dark replay, and you get digital copies of the stickers. $750 a month gets you a printed sticker sent straight to your door, as well as Ox After Dark replay. Certified Crispy, $15 a month, gets you the same as the other tiers, plus a Certified Crispy certificate on first pledge. And the top tier, $25 per month, the Water Guy, gets you deluxe Pog set on first pledge, plus doubles all the stickers we send. So you can send them to your friends and family, and benefits of the previous tiers. I'll just stick a link to the Patreon in there. You can also become a YouTube channel member. We've got Mojo Z78, Absolute Irwin, LV Avenger 702, OMFG Rick, S Beam, Andrew B, Daminator, Sam Gist, Thomas Clark, Benjamin Hanson, Chris V, Big Old Fern, Cram, Alvin J, OG Fan, Mark Pearson, Ben Thomas, Paul Schreiber, Andrew Gibo, CC3PO, Carlito, CT603, Eddie Mendez, B Chan, Fat Batman, Justin Sports Car Museum, and Philip the Fool. So again, thanks to you guys for becoming YouTube channel members. If you want to join that, if you're already a Patreon, you can get that for 99 cents a month. Gets you loyalty badges, emojis, and member shout-outs. Or if you just want to join the YouTube, you can be a member of the Peanut Gallery for $2.99 a month. It gets you perks from the previous level and member shout-outs. So, we may have mentioned it before, but Celebration is coming up in, about 4 weeks. 4 weeks on this weekend. Yeah.
Friday.
Yep, brilliant. So we have an official OFAC podcast Celebration 2023 sticker. Ian's got those. I think we've got about 100 of those. So we'll be giving those out at the show. So definitely be great to see as many of you as you can. Come and find us. We'll give you a sticker. A bit exclusive to Celebration, although I'm sure the Zach can sort out stickers for the US and international listeners. We also have TeePublic as well, so we can get the design on a t-shirt. So I'm definitely going to be buying one of these t-shirts. I'm not sure if Ian is. So I'll be sporting the OFAC Celebration t-shirt. I need to get that ordered. Make sure it comes in time. So yeah, you know what we look like. Come and find us. Be great to see you all, and come and get your stickers. I will put a link to TeePublic there. Have a look. There's loads of other designs, classic logos and stuff in the CW network, and different bits and pieces. But this has just gone up the last couple of days. So if you fancy getting one of these, it'd be fantastic to see you wearing one. You got me and Ian as Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi there. Yeah, and then just to take you through the current lineup for the Collecting Weekly network, got all these beautiful angels here. We've got Collecting Weekly live unboxing on a Monday night. We've got Collecting Weekly live, the main show, on a Tuesday. We've got After Dark on a Wednesday. Thursdays is either OFAC or Small Talk, alternating every other week. Live and Let Dice, which has just had its season 1 finale, so it's a little break for now, but definitely have a watch of that. They're long, 5-6 hour streams, but I watched the 2-part finale. It was great fun. Ox PD, which is Zach and Dean being policemen. Collectors Club, which is John's show on a Friday, tends to be more statue and comic related. The reissue, I'm not exactly sure what that is, sorry. Question of the week is Brenton. Bricks and Brews, Lego, and Pose Wars is guys posing their figures and competing against each other.
I think the reissue is, I think that's with Marco and I think Zach, and they discuss figures that might be in dire need of a reissue kind of thing, 2.0.
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's what that is.
Cool. Yeah.
It's quite cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I haven't caught any of those. I'll have to have a look. Yeah. Oh, there's definitely some figures that definitely need reissues. Aliens, please, Hot Toys.
Oh yeah, all of them.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't need to eat.
Can't see it, but that would be great. That would be great.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, thanks everyone for tuning in today and supporting the network. And Shane, thank you very much for joining me tonight.
Thanks very much.
Filling in for Ian. It's been great fun.
Thanks for asking. Thank you.
Always good to chat. And it's great. It's worked out great because I was watching your stream Sunday morning and I messaged on there, and you said it'd be great to stream before celebration, and it just kind of came at perfect time. Yeah. So it's been really good, mate.
Thanks I'm looking forward to hanging out and hopefully get a bit of grub, a few pints. What more would you want?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Star Wars, a beer, and some good food. So
all sounds great.
Brilliant. When you streaming next, mate?
I've no idea. I tend to just take notions.
Okay.
I don't have like a solid once a week slot. I need to lock that in. But what's coming up? I actually have no immediate plans. We're coming up on 2K, which is great. Well, we're about 1,826, 27. So we're hopefully within the next few months, like if I keep putting out the content, the In-Art Joker, obviously that's arriving. So I'm going to do multiple videos on that. I might do a live unboxing.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to do a review because I'd like to, obviously recognize and thank the good service that I've got from Lion Rock Toys. I'm going to do a bunch of shorts. Yeah, I'm going to do a bunch of shorts with little aspects of it. Shorts on the diecast weapons, shorts on head sculpt, like so. Well, hopefully
so I'm looking forward to that. That'll grab you a few more subscribers and push you towards
hopefully
the 2K
I'm looking
mark.
Forward to it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. So thanks very much for having me.
A pleasure as always. Definitely.
Thank you.
Right. So thanks for watching, everybody. Good night. See you in a couple of weeks. Cheers. Bye.
See you, folks.